And this is it, everyone. After our big Oscar talk, it is time that we get into the grand finale. And technically, this would count into the Oscar talk that we would go and have, because when it comes to this trailer in particular, it actually aired at the same time as the Oscars. In fact, there was actually a little moment in which Halle Bailey and Melissa McCarthy came in to have a little discussion about the 100 years of the Walt Disney Company, on top of also bringing up the fact that they got a big thing to go and present. While not necessarily showing it at the Oscars themselves, they did say that the trailer was available live on the internet. So, without further ado, I think it's time we need to go and have a chat about this. So let's go ahead and check out the trailer for the upcoming live action remake of The Little Mermaid. And that is the trailer of the live action remake of The Little Mermaid, to which the movie shall be released on May 26th. And well, as expected, considering that it is a Disney live action remake, the internet has a brand new toy that they love to hate, especially when, as I am recording this right now, the like versus dislike ratio, it's gone pretty big. So far, it's gotten 85,000 likes compared to 370,000 dislikes. So yeah, already the hate bandwagon is very prominent and already on the go with this one. But I will say that when it comes to my opinion on this, after what we have seen with this trailer of The Little Mermaid, I will say I don't hate it. I'm not saying it's great, but I am honestly surprised that there are elements that I could see can have some legitimate potential. Now, I'm not saying that this is like Jimmy Kimmel as the host at this year's Oscars, you know? This isn't a thing that it's just all around mid where there's nothing great and there's nothing cringy. It's kind of the opposite, where there are some things that I will say they're definitely great, but there's also elements that are absolute cringe. Like, one thing that I will say, like, I might as well get the things that I don't like out of the way. And honestly, this is a continuous pattern with a lot of these Disney live action remakes. It's the visuals, because, oh man, they could be a nightmare to look at. And especially with the way that they have to turn certain characters into live action. And it looks like they really are going into the Lion King route, where they have to go and make things realistic, which results into something that is a bit of a similar effect to The Little Mermaid, not The Little Mermaid, a similar effect to the Beauty and the Beast remake, where their versions are just an atrocious sight. Like, one example, I remember it's a flounder. Like, they actually got little flounder over here. And as you can see, it's literally just a fish. So honestly, like, oh God, like, maybe you could see in terms of the colors, it's like, okay, maybe you see flounder, but like, other than that, it's just, it's a fish. And he has to be, you know, he has to behave exactly like the flounder we know in the animated film. I don't know. Okay, no. And even there's a moment where you see like all the other fishes, like during the, not part of your world, but what was it? Under the sea. Like, there was a moment where we see like all the fishes dancing. Where the fridge is it? It's like, yeah, like somewhere over here. I believe. No, not there. Okay, maybe not that one, or maybe it was a little bit before. But you guys know what I mean. Yeah, like over here, like we see all the fishes dancing. Yeah, like you see all. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I will admit, I'll get more into that later. It is definitely colorful, but I don't know, the fact that they're trying to maintain the realistic, the realistic anatomy of all these fishes, it's just, don't know. It doesn't feel like it works as well as Under the Sea, because that is the segment that it works perfectly as a cartoon, but when you're trying to adapt that into a live action film and trying to make the fish as realistic as possible, it just, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't look like it's gonna work out well. But then there is one that I must say that it fit, that, oh my god, like I am just in shock of what they have done. I need to ask, what the fridge have they done to Sebastian? What is this? Look how they massacred my boy! Oh my god, they gotta go and make a real crab. They got to go and create this real crab. Why? Look at this. What is this? What have you done to Sebastian? This is not okay. You're trying to make this freaking Long John Silver's mascot and you're bringing us this? No, man. Honestly, at this point, it's like, honestly, I feel like, can we just reject the CG here? And can we bring back the puppets from the, from that live television special with Ali Cravalho and Queen Latifah? Can we bring back those puppets? Because they feel more pleasant to look at than something like this. I'm not excited. I don't want to see this singing Under the Sea or Kiss the Girl. Like, nah, man. Nah, it just doesn't work. I don't care. Like, I love Daveed Diggs. But honestly, I would rather have a human Daveed Diggs to be Sebastian than a godforsaken ugly CG crab. This is not okay, man. I don't want this. Oh god. So and some people, oh yeah, and I know some people are even saying oh, they're bringing back the seagull from Pinocchio. Like now we have Scuttle. We got that same annoying squawking bird like we did in Pinocchio, and it's gonna be all sassy, especially with Awkwafina's voice. But you know what? In that regard, I know this is not, I mean, like, this one is not pretty either. I mean, this is the same thing like Zazu in the live action remake of The Lion King, but I'll give this one a pass for existing because, I mean, it's Scuttle. At least Scuttle does exist in the Little Mermaid movie. That I understand. Pinocchio, on the other hand, we don't need a stupid sassy seagull. That was completely unnecessary, and it serves no purpose to the plot whatsoever. But in here, though, okay, fine. As long, Awkwafina can be funny, so as long as she can be fun, like, I'll be cool with it. Although I will say, maybe do a better, maybe her performance can be better suited for something like this than with Sisu in Raya and the Last Dragon. I mean, I love that movie, but the comedy, it feels out of place. But maybe it'll feel more in place in something like this. Maybe. But still, though, the CG, it's still a complete monstrosity. It's still not, the CG, I'm not excited to go and see. That's going to be an absolute mess, just like in the previous years, like with Aladdin or with Beauty and the Beast and some of those other features. But with that out of the way, there are also some things that I must say I actually do like. And I think, honestly, the actors, the human actors, so far are pretty solid. Like number one, I will say, actually, okay, maybe not all, because I don't know about you, but the performance from King Triton, it doesn't sound that great. Like, I don't know, he doesn't sound upset. He just sounds bored. It was like, you went to the above world? Come on, man, that's not, it's kind of, it kind of reminds me of SpongeBob. It's like, hey, man, that's not cool. And it's the same thing here.
You went to the above world.
Come on, you know how it is. That's not cool. Why'd you do that, Ariel? Come on. So, I mean, maybe in the movie, he'll definitely be much better represented, but this performance, it's, I just feel like it's, I don't know, not the best King Triton so far. But then you got the factor of Ariel, of Halle Bailey. And I know there are those discussions in regards to her race and that we got a black Ariel and stuff like that. Now, I've already made that discussion already right there. I've already talked about that entire controversy of having a black woman play as Ariel and stuff like that, and how all those people who criticize this movie as woke because it has a black Ariel, they are all racist. In fact, for those people who are still commenting that this movie is woke and it's going to be bad and stuff like that, I want all you people to go and pressure those anti-woke folks to force them to say what they actually mean. Instead of being vague with the words woke and stuff like that, force them to say their true intentions of how they feel about the live action remake. And and also, not to mention, ask them what's wrong with having a woman of color play as Ariel, especially when it has already happened previously with a Hispanic Ariel, an Asian Ariel, a Polynesian Ariel. Pressure them into saying that, pressure them into asking those questions. Force them to go and be transparent with their intentions. Force them to reveal if they actually are racist. And if they are racist, well, then you know that their opinions are invalid, because all racists are violent criminals and their opinions should be silenced. Now, with all that out of the way, now that we did go and discuss about the worthless minority, one thing I gotta say that actually is a positive here has to be with Halle Bailey, because what they are showing with her, yeah, I think this trailer so far is the biggest justification of her being Ariel. Honestly, like that, like honestly, I would have to say the best part of this has to be like right at the end when she sings Part of Your World. Like, I'm not gonna play it entirely because, well, I'll just play like part of it because like, you know how YouTube can be with copyright warnings. This is just for to help out future me, but I mean, if you just listen. Okay, that they nailed. Okay, that right there, they nailed it. Yeah, it's fine with Twitch, I know, but that is amazing. And I mean, with Ariel, you need someone with a powerful voice, and Halle Bailey has definitely proved it right there. So honestly, that I could tell is great casting. So how is she going to do when the movie itself will come out? We will have to wait and see, but this is delivering a good first impression of how Halle Bailey is as Ariel. So I think honestly, from what we see in this trailer, this is definitely one of the better parts. Yeah, someone even said it. This is a saving grace in here. And there is also another thing I do want to go and talk about, and this might be a hot take. This might divide some people, but I'm just going to say right now, in my opinion, there is another thing I actually did like from this trailer. I like Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. I don't know, for the little clips that we got here, I think she did a pretty good job paying respects to the performance of Pat Carroll. Like, if we just go back there, I don't know. I think, like, so far, it's pretty solid.
You can't live in that world unless you become a human yourself.
Is that even possible?
That's what I live for.
I don't know. I kind of like that. That's actually not bad. And I mean, like, in many of the previous films, like, usually they would just screw up the villains badly. Like in Aladdin, for example, I think we can all agree the worst thing from the Aladdin remake is Jafar. Like, holy crap, did they screw up on that one? But in here, though, there is a chance we could probably have the best live action villain since Idris Elba as Shere Khan. So honestly, I don't know. I feel like she actually, this actually gave me a good first impression of her role as Ursula. So honestly, I that's one thing I am optimistic to see how they would go and perform, how she would go and perform. So that's one thing I am excited to check out. But also there is one more thing that I want to say that I actually did like And even though I was pretty critical in terms of the visuals and how they like really butchered the looks of like Flounder and Sebastian and how the realistic look just really doesn't work, one thing I will say is that this is definitely a pleasant movie to watch. Like, I mean, you definitely have some pretty people, like the guy, I forgot his name, but the guy who's playing Eric, like, definitely a good looking dude. And I mean, Halle Bailey, a very pretty woman. But also, one thing I will say is that the production design, like when you look at the background and stuff like that, it definitely does look nice. And not to mention, it's a pretty colorful film. Like, one thing I will say, like, this is one thing that is such a big step up compared to last time from what we have seen with Peter Pan and Wendy, because you probably remember that trailer. It was so dull looking. It just looked so bland and unpleasant with the way that the colors are all muted. But then you look at this, like, you see how, like, it could be very bursting with colors. It is such a great looking film. Like, honestly, it is pleasant to watch. It actually looks a lot of fun. It makes the underwater life look great. I mean, granted, there are some moments where, like, the colors can be a little bit subdued, like when you are on land and stuff like that. But I don't know. I feel like the color palette is pretty strong. Or even, like, with Ursula. Like honestly, the tones actually do look great. Like, you see, like, Ursula's colors are prominent with, you know, like Ursula has like purple skin and like the green, you know, the green eye decor, or even like when it does light up, like you see all her tentacles, like they glow. You know, it has a great vibrant color palette, which is something that I feel like has been missing in a lot of these Disney live action remakes. So that is honestly one thing that I do like to see. So overall, my opinion is that I don't think this is going to be great. Like, this definitely does feel like this is going to be another run-of-the-mill Disney live-action remake that's just going to tell the same story that we have heard of before, but I do not hate it. There are some things that I see that I really don't like, but I also see a lot of great potential that could turn out really awesome. I mean, the visuals and the way that the animated characters like Flounder and Sebastian can be pretty cringe. But then when you have the actor, you know, when you have some of the actors like Halle Bailey and her singing performance and Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, and even the colors, like the color palette of this feature does give a lot of promise. I'm not saying that this is going to be like in the leagues of the Jungle Book remake or even on the same leagues as Cruella. And I'm not saying that this is going to be as bad as like the Beauty and the Beast remake or the Maleficent movies or even Pinocchio. I think this is going to be somewhere that could be right in the middle. I think this could be like amongst the same levels as the Aladdin remake, where it will be decent in its own right, but it's not going to be something that's highly noteworthy. Like, honestly, it, like, at the very least, this could have some things that they would offer that's actually pretty solid. So yeah, overall, I would say that very similar to the Oscars, I was surprisingly impressed because I came in with very low expectations, and even though technically this could be kind of mid, this honestly turned out okay. You know, honestly, I don't think this is going to be as painful of an experience as Pinocchio. So yeah, you know, like, maybe this could be worthwhile. Who knows? And if you are interested in checking out this movie, then keep in mind that the film will be released on May 26th. All right, so with that said and done, I would like to go into the chat wall, and I want to ask you all, what did you think of the Little Mermaid live action remake trailer? Did you guys actually enjoy that one? Did you guys feel a little bit iffy, or do you feel like this is going to be no different than all the other crappy live action remakes? Let me know what you think on that. All right, let's see now. The Little Mermaid will not only be the Disney remake, since Pinocchio, but also the Disney film since Quantumania. Rob Marshall directs, and the visual effects are visuals. It's definitely going to be a movie that will play in theaters. Yeah, as you can tell, I have no idea what to make of this outside of Sebastian. Looks like he's about to say, "Yeah, Sponge Boy, me Bob. I've overdosed on ketamine, and I'm going to show Ariel why it's better now when it's wetter." Oh boy, yeah. I do get what you mean. Like that's the thing, is that this trailer is it's a mixed bag. I think that's the best way to put it, is that the trailer that we just saw is a massive mixed bag where it's hard to know how to truly feel about it. And like, it's hard to really say, like, is it great? Is it bad? Well, the only way is just to wait and see when the movie does come out. And I know the internet does not have the patience for that. Oh, let's see now. When I saw this trailer at the Oscars, and even now looking at it, all I could say is, oh God, why? And look how they massacred my boy, because this looks like crap. I hate how the sea animals look too realistic, and the scenes are so dark during the night, and maybe daytime too, and not capturing the magic of the original. Only some performances like Halle Bailey and Melissa McCarthy do decent in their counterparts, but yeah, I didn't like it. I won't say I don't enjoy it, but it looked like crap. Okay, fair. I mean, fair enough, man. I do get it, because yeah, like the visuals can be an eyesore. It kind of makes, honestly, with the kind of, with the way that they make the animals so realistic and still try to make them cartoon characters, it's kind of, it kind of makes you wish that there are more dark moments where you don't see much. It's like, the less I see of that flounder or Sebastian, the better. Let's see now. So I'm going to see it because a family friend of mine has two biracial daughters, and little black girls deserve to have a princess that looks like them. Just seeing the reactions from little kids when the teaser came out, I think Halle Bailey actually performs very well. I wish Sebastian looked better, but I don't think this overall looks too bad. I don't think it's going to be good, but I want to support this for the kids. Exactly, it's for them, so at least, at least they'll have someone to look up to. Like now, you can have now you can have your Ariels in different flavors. I mean, we already got like a whole bunch of them, but like, at least we know the primary ones will come in vanilla or in chocolate. Let's see now. After the disaster that was the trailer of the Peter Pan remake, this was honestly better, but not by much. The actors aren't that good, with the exceptions of Halle Bailey and Melissa McCarthy. The same could be said with the visuals, besides some of the scenes underwater, which had actual color? But good lord, they just messed up with the animal characters, especially Sebastian. They just massacred my precious crab boy. Yes, a moment of silence and pay our respects to what happened to Sebastian. Oh dear, man. And don't worry, Debbie Diggs, it's not your fault. It's the visual direction. Let's see what we got here. I feel mixed. While some of the visuals look nice and Halle Bailey is doing great as Ariel, however, I feel like it's going to be no different compared to the original and offer nothing new. I guess you could say it feels watered down, am I right? Waka waka. Oh, but in all seriousness, I'm not that excited. However, if there is one thing I hate more than Disney live action remakes, is anti-woke incels of the internet acting racist because of having Black Ariel. Yeah, but then again, nowadays, like, I don't know if they're going to be really riled up, because for now, they're just being racist towards, they're being racist towards, who is it? Yeah, April O'Neil in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action remake. Like, they're just upset because, they're not as horny for that April O'Neil as much as the 80s show. Which goes to show how their opinion is not really that valuable when they're not really thinking with their brains, but they're thinking with their dicks.